to Charleston, Illinois for the Spring Spectacular, the 2001 Illinois High School Association Girls Track and Field Championships. Hello everyone, I'm Ann Penstone, and I'm so pleased to be working with the shot put record holder in Illinois and also the athletic director at Kankakee High School, Lisa Ferry.
Hi, Ann. I'm very pleased to be working with you and finally get to meet you. And I'm also excited to be in Eastern Illinois University for the state track meet. It brings back fond memories for me.
I bet it does. And I'll tell you what, we're going to see some great things here today. We really have two events going on. We have both Class A and AA, team and individual championships. First, let's go to Class A and the teams. Defending champ St. Joe Ogden is going to have their hands full with Timothy Chrstn out of Elmhurst.
They sure are. It's going to be a tough battle. Timothy Chrstn does have the most athletes involved in races, but it'll come down to the wire.
Also, Breed Race Custer out of your area is certainly going to be a factor in this as well. Let's look at some of the individuals. First, let's look at Chelsea Humphrey, defending champ in the 100 high hurdles.
Chelsea had a special day yesterday. She broke her own 100 high meter hurdle record. She has a really good chance to go at it again today. She wants to go high 13s.
And somebody that has burst onto the scene, Dominique Boatwright. We're going to hear from her today.
Dominique put it best, I think. If you haven't heard of me yet, you will.
And we're going to see her in the 100, the 200, and the 400 dashes. Now to the AA, the big schools. First in the team competition. Two-time defending champs Morgan Park look to probably be pretty solid for a three-peat. But also we have Evanston and Palatine coming in there.
Morgan Park's very solid for a three-peat. They have all the relays covered, and it may come down to who does the best in the relays.
There are so many individuals in both A and AA we could highlight, but we want to look at a young lady who is also going for the Triple Crown, Jessica Fouché.
Jessica's in the 100, the 200, and the 400. She's a great sprinter. She had a great day yesterday. If things go well today, she may win the Triple Crown.
One of the most exciting events yesterday was a young lady who by herself nearly broke the record of Susie Tuffy from Peoria Bergen in the 1600. That's Maria Cicero from York.
She had a great day yesterday. She wasn't really going for the record, I don't think. Nobody was near her. She's got a great opportunity today to break the record, but she has to run that 3,200 meter first.
And the heat may be a factor here today. Yesterday we had a lot of rain, but today it looks a lot better, a little cooler, but a little humid. And that's the track events that look out, but let's take a look from Lee Hall with field events. Lee, what do you have for us?
Well, when you talk about winning a state championship, then you talk about defending it. How difficult is that? That's one of the interesting things we're following today, taking a look at some of the defending champs, and we want to know, is it trouble in paradise, or could they maybe just be saving themselves for today's finals? When we look at trouble in paradise, we look at some of the girls who won state championships a year ago in the Class A discus. Jamie Nernberger from Piasaw, she is fourth after yesterday's prelims. Crystal Schnittger from Robinson, Class A long jump champ a year ago, she's sixth. And from St. Joe Ogden in the triple jump, Sarah Schmidt is fifth after Friday's prelims. We'll see how they do today. Maybe they were sandbagging a little bit. You look at the high jump, all 22 qualifiers, 11 in Class A, 11 in AA, all jumped 5'2" yesterday. We'll see how they do today. There might be a couple of sandbaggers in that group, so we'll be keeping an eye on that for you. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Lee. We're looking forward to those events as well. You know, Lisa, when you look at team championships, what's the key to winning?
It's got to be the relays. The team that does the best in the relays, it's going to be the champion. And also, that's how we start out the day.
In fact, the first event will be the 800 medley relay, and we'll be back with that right after this. It is a beautiful day here at O'Brien Field. The Spring Spectacular set to get underway on the track. And the first event will be the 800 medley relay. All throughout the day, we will have Class A race, then the Class AA race in the same events. This first race is the 800 medley, 100, 100, 200, 400. Here are your lane assignments. Lane 1 will be vacant. In 2, Eureka. Chillicothe, the Gray Ghost from IVC in 3. And Timothy Chrstn, one of the top contenders for team in 4. Polo, the Marcos in 5. Kewanee, Weathersfield Flying Geese. Broadlands in 7. And defending champ St. Joe Ogden in 8. They will run in lanes around the first lap and then cut to the inside. First event, Lisa, this is where all the excitement builds.
This is exciting, Ian, and the thing to remember here is that the best team is seated in lane 1. This is our only race that seeds lane 1 out. lane assignment is very important.
And that is the Eureka Hornets. We are off, and quickly Kewanee Weathersfield with a big jump in lane 6, making the first move. We'll watch the exchanges. Eureka, a little bit of trouble. Weathersfield had a great leg, but a bad exchange. Now moving strong in the middle of the field is Timothy Chrstn in the red over black. Good exchange, and it is Timothy Chrstn first exchange. Very nice on the inside. This is the 200-meter leg. Also moving outside of them is Kewanee Weathersfield, and on the outside you see St. Joe Ogden. But right now it is all Timothy Chrstn in red, with less than 100, a little more than 100 meters to go, coming in straightaway. The Eureka runner is making a great charge, followed by IVC, and we have a race coming down this home stretch. First event, the crowd, IVC is just flying up. Can she have enough to hold on and overtake Timothy Chrstn, which would be big points taken away in their bid for a state championship? But she hangs on. Story hangs on. IVC second and a close one for third. But we do believe Eureka was able to hang on. Same thing as they exit the track. And here are the lanes. We have Proviso East from Maywood in 1. East St. Louis Senior, that is now consolidated with what used to be East St. Louis Lincoln. Evanston, the Wildcats, looking for a trophy themselves in 3. And Richardson Park Rich South in 4. Chicago Whitney Young in 5. The other Proviso, Hillside Proviso West in 6. Morgan Park, the two-time defending champs, their first time on the track today. Romeoville in 8. And Orland Park, the Eagles of Sandburg, out in 9. The record for this event is held by Chicago South Shore in 1984, 142.4. And we're off. Very even on the beginning, but it looks like Proviso West with a good move out in lane 6 early on, and also making a move is Evanston Township. The exchanges are crucial. They are clean in the middle of the track. And it is very tight down the back stretch, but of course we have our staggers to be made up. We'll watch the exchanges for you. Evanston, very nice exchange in the middle.
And there's been a movement now in the middle.
And they are tight. Talk about tight. It is going to do just exactly what you said, Lisa. It will depend on your 400-meter runner.
Unfortunately, Morgan Park had an awful handoff there. That may hurt them in the end.
It is all the way across the track. You call it. It really doesn't matter. A lot of orange and blue on the track. East St. Louis quickly with the exchange and moving Morgan Park to the inside. Whoa, what a move from the inside from Morgan Park to overtake the lead. And now, quick, Evanston now jockeys in front.
Whitney Young battling.
It is Whitney Young has moved to the lead. Whitney Young with a great strong move. And now East St. Louis moving into second alongside Chicago Morgan Park with Richardson Park Rich South in 4th. It is Chicago Young. Can she hold? She went out so early. Morgan Park behind.
Now on the outside, a new.
And now on the outside, we're moving again. And it is Proviso West moving on the outside.
Coming up, Proviso.
Proviso West, Evanston Township now making a move into 3rd. Hanging on, Whitney Young, Proviso West. Evanston and Morgan Park moving on the inside. But it appears that the Dolphins of Whitney Young are going to hold. And a fall at the end. Oh, how devastating with that long race, but it was a fabulous race, jockeying back and forth throughout that race. Oh, and it appears that Chicago Young, looking for any flags at all, will be our winner.
What an incredible job by the Morgan Park girl to make up the botched handoff as she flew into first as they came off the stagger. But then the girl from Evanston just blew her away. What a great leg she ran and held on for the victory at the end.
I tell you what.
Incredible.
Wonderful, wonderful athletes. And of course, they don't have to run the same athletes yesterday as they do today. So there could be different athletes that are competing in this event today. Hello, we are back for the 4x800 relay, the 3200. We're in alleys, and here are the lane assignments for Class A. Wheaton St. Francis, Teutopolis and Scioto Northwestern in Alley 1. In Alley 2, Timothy Chrstn, Byron and Manlius, Bureau Valley. In Alley 3, Riverdale out of Port Byron, Tolono Unity and Rock Island Alleman. And in Alley 4, St. Joe Ogden, Monticello and Aurora Central Catholic. Okay, quickly out of the inside goes Wheaton St. Francis. They are seated first.
This is an
Lead runner is
interesting
Jenny
race.
Gadzinski.
This is an interesting race, Ann, is that it takes 4 strong dynamic runners, and really the strategy comes into play where the coaches decide are they going to put their best runner first or their best runner last. You really can't hide anybody.
Well, and of course, you've got some other situations where if you have an 800 open runner that you may pull out because she's in the final stay or 16 or 32. But for the most part, for teams, of course, this is crucial. This is a relatively new event here in Illinois.
It takes a strong athlete to run this 800.
Gadzinski in the lead from Wheaton St. Francis. And Timothy Chrstn now making a move into second. Of course, each runner will run 2 laps. And each 100. Monticello's in third. As we have a fairly tight pack of 4 coming across, but right now they're doing fairly much as seated with Wheaton St. Francis, your leader, after 1. Well, this has been an exciting 4x800, and you see exactly what we're talking about. There's been much jockeying going on, and on the straightaway, with still a lap to go plus the straightaway, you see the leader is still Wheaton St. Francis, but back and forth they've gone in the other positions. You look at T-Town's Lindsay who has run, T-Town's run a terrific race. Next to her is Ashley Alfman in red, as T-Town now moves into second. So it is Wheaton St. Francis on the gun lap to Topolis and Timothy Chrstn, 1, 2, 3. It is a 3-team race at this point, Lisa.
Looks like it's going to stay that way in unless somebody really makes a charge at it. We've got the field really breaking up now, but we've got 3 in the lead and the others are falling back. It almost looks like we're getting a pretty good separation between the first and second, and that the race may be for second and third.
It appears on the back stretch that there is some ground being made up, but Molly Hogan, the junior from Wheaton St. Francis, is definitely holding her own as they look for a state championship in this 4x800. Second, of course, is the Lady Shoes of Teutopolis, and looking for more team points, Timothy Chrstn looking very strong in the first 2 events.
Looks like the only upperclassman we have in those last final runners is Amber Stratton, a senior from Timothy Chrstn. So let's see if that experience helps her out and gets her a better place in third.
And bringing home down the home stretch in the 4x800 Class A, it is Molly Hogan of Timothy Chrstn. She looks terrific, holding her form all the way through the final 50 meters of this sprint. It will be a state championship for Wheaton St. Francis, long known for their volleyball outstanding performances, and now again for track. She looks comfortable. Teutopolis and Timothy Chrstn, and making a strong bid for 4th. As you look at the congratulations being given around the track, St. Joe Ogden snuck in there for 4th. Palatine is number 1 seed and looking for huge team points, along with Norma West and Fremd in Alley 1. In Alley 2, Wheaton Warrenville South, Schaumburg, and Wheaton North. In Alley 3, Skokie Niles West, Oak Park River Forest, and Muhammad Seymour. And in Alley 4, Elmhurst York, all the long green line, New Lenox, Lincoln Way, and Winnetka, New Trier, the Trevians in the last position.
Ann talked about this being a distance relay, so noticeably missing from team points would be Morgan Park. They don't have an opportunity here, but Palatine does have a relay here, so they can gain some advantage on Morgan Park in this race.
As you look around the curve, it is leading the Fremd Vikings. Now they're actually from the same town. Palatine High School now moves into second. And now we've got a move on the outside. Wheaton Warrenville Southlake looking to make some noise, as well as Schaumburg in the middle of the track in maroon. But it is the Vikings of Fremd and their town partners, Palatine High School, in first and second. Now moving strongly, Wheaton Warrenville and Schaumburg looking to make a move on Palatine on the outside. And going around as normal, also now making a move in Oak Park River Forest. So it will be a lot of this jockeying back and forth, particularly the early 2 runners. And the strategy of who to put in what order is key as a coach.
Absolutely. And do you think these Palatine girls might know each other? Have they run against each other a few times?
Well, you know, they run in the conference, the sectional. I think they're probably tired, along with Schaumburg, same conference as well.
Pretty
and it
familiar
appears
with
that
each other's strategies and skills.
And they know who to stay off of, exactly. And it is Schaumburg that now takes the lead. And another collision. I have never seen so many in a race like this. A heck of a time. And now moving into the lead again are the Vikings of Fremd overtaking Schaumburg.
We are seeing battles here between Fremd, Elmhurst, Now Schaumburg. Now
Making up.
challenging is York. What a race.
You see a tremendous race with a curve and a straightaway to go in the 4x800. That is Wheaton, Warrenville South, Schaumburg, and now York making a move. That York runner is Allison Billhart, which you don't see in your picture, but now Diana Ainsley from Palatine
Wheaton,
has made up incredible ground. They were so far behind. The Pirates favored, but it is York. And York's Allison Billhart with the lead. Wheaton, Warrenville South is second, and now Schaumburg overtaking for second, and it will be the Dukes of York, long known for their escapades in the long-distance runs. Palatine finishes fourth. An incredible race here on the track today. 378, that is a sophomore. Your 2001 AA champs in 4x800.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a reminder, this race has been under a yellow flag.
Is brought to you by Country Insurance. Real people, real answers, and real quick. And we are getting ready for one of the premier events of the day. It's the 4x100, where exchanges are everything.
They sure are. The handoffs are the most crucial part of this event.
And here are the lane assignments. Of course, the fastest ones are in the middle of the track. Eureka in 1, the Rockets of Rochester in 2, the Flying Geese of Wethersfield, Kewanee in 3, Timothy Chrstn looking for team points in 4, Seton Academy in 5. They are a good team. Watch for them. Erie in 6, Orion in 7, Piasa in 8, and the other Kewanee, the Boilermakers, out in 9. This will all be about the exchanges. Look at the national records. Rock Island Alleman is the record holder in this event in 1988. Some of those old records we've talked about, 49.03. And AA by East St. Louis Lincoln, also in 88, 46.96. Guess it was a great year for the 4x1.
It was a great year. And we've got some great individuals in this race, too, Ann.
Oh, I tell you, there are some stars in this one. It should be a lot of fun. So we want a clean start. Everybody even so far. As they go around to the first exchange, it is Seton Academy moving very well in the middle of the track. So far, they appear to have the early lead. Watch the exchange. It's a little bit slow, but they were good. On the inside of them is Timothy Chrstn, now making a move down the backstretch. And white over red is Erie with a very good second leg.
Timothy Chrstn moving up.
Seton Academy with an excellent exchange, as did Timothy Chrstn. So we'll look to the middle where we expected it to be and watch what happens when Jennifer Hoffman takes the baton. She's got it gone, but inside of her was Timothy Chrstn with the first. There they go. And Jennifer Hoffman in the middle, but outside of her is Tammy Nielsen, the senior, going stride for stride, but the longer strides of Jennifer Hoffman, and you saw that arm punch. We are the champs.
I think she was ready for that. She was not going to give up that lead, and she didn't have a lead when she got the baton, but she sure took it over very quickly, and she held on.
And now is your 4x100 in the AA. On the inside, North Chicago, Whitney Young of Chicago in 2, East St. Louis Senior in 3, Kenwood Academy, they have a terrific sprinter as well. The Wild Kits of Evanston in 5, Morgan Park, Chicago in 6, Olympia Fields Rich Central in 7, Romeoville in 8, and Cahokia out in 9. Big team points here and head-to-head.
Big team points. We've got everybody, as you said, head-to-head. They're facing off against each other. There's no excuses in this race. They're all on the track. They're competing against each other, and may the best team win.
Set.
Clean start. Very even.
In the middle here is Evans.
Rich Central got a good start. So did Morgan Park's runner in lane 6. A blazing fast first 100. Let's watch the exchange. And Morgan Park is clean. Evanston as well. Morgan Park moving great. Cahokia also moving well on the outside. But right now it's Morgan Park. And here comes Evanston on the inside. Morgan Park and Evanston. Oh, Evanston trouble on the exchange. Morgan Park then extends their lead because of that third exchange. Let's watch the anchor runners. Clark and Kennedy.
Oh, was that?
Oh, Morgan Park, and you can bar the door on this one. No one's going to catch her. Tiffany Kennedy will bring it home. Oh, the senior captain. The Mustangs have gold.
Wow.
Exactly the position as set. Morgan Park.
Does she make it look easy?
I'd like to see a little smile from Tiffany there, though. She's so serious. I know she's excited about the event. Let's see a smile.
I think it's all business. It's early. We've got a lot of business here, and this is just the first step along the way. And our next race will be the 3,200 meter run. And of course, we'll run in alleys. They did not run prelims in this event yesterday, so the heat, they were all fresh for this. I tell you what, Tracy Fleischhacker, though, is doubling in the 1,600. So in the first alley, Fleischhacker, Brunner, and Hull. In alley 2, McHugh, Levine, Reed, Heimann, and Nelson. In alley 3, Selby, appropriate, she's from Shelbyville, and a very nice runner, McAllister, Cullerton, Ware, and Lada. And in alley 4, Sims, Binney, and Elders. That is your lineup for the 3,200 meter run. Gingrich, Avong, and Special are also in that last alley. There you look at the large field in the 3,200, and the gun has taken off. On the inside is Tracy Fleischhacker, who is ranked #1 coming out of sectional times, but there will be much jockeying going on in this event. The records are very long standing, and we expect there may be one broken here today. Class A,
4x800 meter relay.
we're in the 3,200. That record is held by Susie Tuffy of Peoria, Bergen in 1984. And that has stood for a long time, and it's one of the records where the Class A holds the state record as well. The AA record is held by Urbana's Melissa Straza, 10:22.5 back in 1983. That is a tight pack, and they will go back and forth. Remember, they have 8 laps to go. Leading right now is Brooke Brenner from Stockton. There are your records. Susie Tuffy's 10:13 flat. And I tell you what, I saw that race, and it was beautiful. She was as easy a runner. She looked a lot like Susie Favor from Wisconsin and runs very much like her as well. Those are the records that have been long standing. And we think, as we mentioned, Maria Cicero from York may take her shot at that. If not this, then in the 1,600.
She's in both events, so it's going to be tough for her.
Call on the 100-meter high hurdles. We are in the
long-distance runner being alone is nothing new to Sarah Selby, the sophomore defending champ from Shelbyville, and this is as big as a lead as I have ever seen in the 3,200. She is on a walk in the park.
As you said earlier, she's on a trek to be a 4-time state champion. She got a championship as a freshman, and she's certainly going for a championship as a sophomore as she extends her lead.
That record does not appear to be in jeopardy today, 10:13 by Susie Tuffy, but I'll tell you what, it is definitely going to be a state championship for the purple and white clad Sarah Selby. As you look at the rest of the pack, that would be Tracy Fleischhacker in second, and that is West Chicago Wheaton Academy's Lindsay McAllister moving in that pack as they jockey back and forth, but it is all Sarah Selby alone. The lament of the long-distance runner with your own thoughts. She has looked like this from the start of the race and has never relinquished. She is going to be brought home by this crowd and will probably lap a runner on the home straightaway. So it is definitely the sunburst purple, as you see at the back of that picture. She is going to be the defending and again 2001 champ. As the crowd here, she raises her fists and thanks the crowd. A terrific race all alone for Sarah Selby. Unofficially 11 flat, .742. Repeats as the 3,200 meter champ.
From start to finish, it was all Sarah Selby.
The senior from Chicago Luther North.
Chicago Luther North, Tracy Fleischhacker will finish second.
Lindsay McAllister looks for third.
And let's set the next race for you. And this will be the AA 3,200. Again, there will be some double attempts at the 1,600 in this. Erica Oldlog from Deerfield, a very nice runner in one. These are all in Alley 1. Torelli from Normal, Steffens from Moline, Palos Hills Simone, and Faber from Princeton. That is Alley 1. Alley 2, watch her. We touted in the beginning. She may go after this more than the 16. Cicero from York. Byrne of Des Plaines, Maine West. Beast from the Lombard Rams of Glenbard East. Covert from Lockport, and another York runner, Forst. That will help. She can help her pace. And the Alley 3, Corn of Wheeling, just a freshman. Look out, this kid is talented. Very good for Wheeling's strong cross-country team. Byrne from Des Plaines, Maine West. Braun from Wabansie Valley. Key out of Lake Zurich, and from the Moline Maroons is Griffin. And in Alley 4, Scott from the Bulldogs of Muhammad Seymour. Bonestale from Naperville North. Schomburg's Gallagher, and Nieto from Larkin High School out in Elgin. The rest of that alley is Maestri from Hinsdale Central, Miller from Plainfield, and Mueller from Schomburg. So 2 Schomburg runners as well in this race.
With a time of 9:42.7 from Skokie.
Well, we saw Sarah Selby run by herself from Shelbyville for the A, and in the double A, as you look at the alleys, the inside closest to the track in each of the alleys is the lead, the top 4 coming out of sectionals. Those would be Erica Odlog, all red on the inside from Deerfield. Maria Cicero from York in all yellow. Look out, she has the target. She is going after one of those records today held by Susie Tuffy. Allison Korn from Wheeling and Maureen Scott from Muhammad Seymour. There you see the records. Susie Tuffy from Bergen, 10:13. That is the A and state record. And Melissa Straza's 10:22 out of Urbana High School. Both of those are old, and they are in danger today.
We may see one fall. I especially think that Maria will go after either the 3,200 or the 1,600. Maybe a little more difficult for the 1,600 after she's already completed the 3,200.
We don't really know what her priority is, but she has certainly taken the lead immediately. Cicero is in the lead with Erica Odlog from Deerfield right off her shoulder, and they are taking it out in a hurry. It'll be interesting to see what the split is on this first lap, to see what kind of times they're looking at. But there is no doubt that that record is within her reach. Yesterday it was effortless in the 1,600, but as you say, today doubling and with the heat could be more of a factor. As you look at the easy strides of Maria Cicero, the senior from York High School in Elmhurst is on record pace. Now that would be the record of Melissa Straza from Urbana at 10:22.5, and even Susie Tuffy's A and state record is within her reach. And let's look at the team standings as we watch. She still has a lap to go. Right now, currently, Timothy Chrstn, as we mentioned, is leading, but it's Wethersfield from Kewanee with the number 2 position, and their compatriots, the Boilermakers of Kewanee, in 3rd in a 4-way tie. Still early, that's after 5. Chicago Young leading, that's a triple tie. Of course, that means everybody's won one thing, Palatine, Danville, and Young, and a 3-way tie for 4th. And that's after 3 events. There is our young lady Maria Cicero, the senior, coming up on the gun lap. And the only thing that stands between her and is a record. She's going to have to run approximately a 127 lap. That's just well within her reach for the double A, but she would like to get the A. Let's see what that split is. She hit it at about 8.5 unofficially. 10:13 and 10:22 are the 2 records. These are long-standing folks, and Susie Tuffy was a beautiful runner, similar style. Melissa Straza looked more like this young lady, the longer, leaner, taller. Tuffy was a shorter, but both fluid, effortless runners.
As you mentioned, there's no question that she's going to win the state title in this event. She's opened up about a 150-meter gap between herself and the second runner from Deerfield. And the question is, will she get the record? And obviously she'd like the IHSA record, but she's sure got a shot at the Class AA record of 10:22.
She is lapping the runners right now. The crowd well aware of the record. She's got about 100 meters to go, unofficially at 9:52. She's going to have to, she's struggling just a little. She's got about 100 meters. She's got 22 seconds to make it. I think she will beat the AA record, but she will not get Susie Tuffy's, I do not think. Second is Erica Odlog in all red with Deerfield. So far behind at this point, it's 10:10. She is going after it, and I think we are definitely going to see the record fall. Melissa Straza's 1983 record, unofficially, but I'm almost positive, has been erased off the books.
I sure can't imagine that the unofficial time would be that much of a difference from the official time. At 10:16, we're looking at beating the record of 10:22.
What a terrific race. There you saw Erica Odlog come in, the number 2 runner, a beautiful race as well. And we'll be back after these messages.
And there you have Scott with a third. And Jamie Turilli, unofficial, in fourth in that race, won cleanly by Maria Cicero of Elmhurst, York. Award stand, go ahead.
If I could have the Class A winners in the high jump report to the awards area, please.
What an absolutely magnificent day here at Eastern Illinois University for the Spring Spectacular, the 2001 track event for girls in Illinois. And you see Teton, everybody setting their blocks. This is a premier event. We have the defending champ in the middle of the track, Chelsea Humphrey. And she broke the record yesterday. And Lisa?
She's going for the record again today, and she's hoping to run in the high 13s. So we'll see if she can do that. We couldn't have ordered any better weather, so the conditions are correct and right for Chelsea.
Especially for the sprinters. And here are the lanes. Ashley Esker from T-Town in 1. Michelle Cottrell in 2. Laura Hamilton, more points looking for Timothy Christian. Jenin Robinson in lane 4 from Plano. In 5, there is your defending champ and record holder, Chelsea Humphrey from Kewanee Weathersfield. Malia White also in green in 6. Lindsay Stalzer from Kewanee in 7. Teresa Brower from Winnebago. And the Freeburg Midgets, Lindsay Hearne in 9. Good start. And quickly it's Chelsea Humphrey. Oh, what beautiful left-legged form she has down the middle. Just take those hurdles and she strides and snaps. You can see why she holds the record. She's going for the high 13s, unofficially a little bit higher than that, but very close to yesterday's record. And it is Chelsea Humphrey repeating as the Class A high hurdle champ.
She repeated as champ. I sure don't think she got a record today, but you saw that she established pace and rhythm early and snapped that leg over those hurdles. She looks really good.
She will also be running the 300s, but I think this is the race that she concentrates on. Let's look at the finish of this race.
Chicago Morgan Park in the middle is 5.
That is a great shot. And look at the finish, judges. The timer's looking. Great shot by our terrific camera crew here. And that was pretty easy to pick number 1, but imagine doing 2, 3, and 4 in these tight 100-yard races, 100-meter races.
This is where they really earn their money, Ann, right?
Oh, boy. And I'll tell you what, having worked the AccuTrack for years, where I had the advantage of a video, these people are good. It's not picking first that's hard. It's the middle lanes that are difficult. Now the lane assignments for AA. And we should have 3 terrific runners in the middle of this race. And on the inside will be Latoya Stiffen from the Hawks of Hoffman Estates. Tiffany Johnson from Danville in 2. Jacqueline Smart from Harvey Thornton in 3. Nancy Figueroa, one of the favorites in this race from Palatine and looking for team points, disappointing in the 4x800. Shanna Pickett, one of the stars for 4 years here. And again, Morgan Park, Chicago. Don Harper, the record holder and defending champ in 6. Angie Drew in 7. Ardith Johnson from Galesburg in 8. And Christina Gutierrez from Lamphere in 9. The infield, some of the beautiful color here on this sunny day in Charleston. Award winners getting ready to get their awards, but they will await the start of this race. Look at that, thinking, focusing.
Guns up.
Shanna Pickett is in white over green. On her right is Don Harper in orange from East St. Louis. She is the record holder. And inside, Nancy Figueroa in white over red. We predict that is where your top seeds will come out of.
Watch their explosion as the gun goes off. They just power out of those blocks, and they don't really jump the hurdles. They run the hurdles. They run them as if they're not even on the track.
That's what they're looking at. A good start inside lane 2. Tiffany Johnson got a good start, but oh, it is Don Harper showing why she's defending champ. Shanna Pickett inside of her, but right now it is all Don Harper, and Shanna Pickett. 1-2 in this hurdle race. Clean all the way.
Woo, and is that fast? 13-2 unofficial.
Boy, folks, if that stays, we definitely have a record. The crowd is buzzing here. Woo. They hug each other, 13-2 unofficially.
Wow, did Dawn come out of the blocks. And she just steps over the hurdles. Like they're not even on the track. She is incredible. And that time is a fabulous time. If it stands, we will have a new IHSA and Class AA record. She just snaps her front leg down over those hurdles. Like the hurdles aren't there, as Dawn just powers through the end. And she is our new state champion at this spring spectacular.
I'll tell you what, Lisa, not only would that be a state record, but she is nipping at the national record with times like that if it were to stay.
Incredible. Remember, Dawn's a junior.
Oh, well, actually, she is that's right, she's a junior, and she should be back again to cause more damage. Summer Allensworth from Hamilton. Erica Meyer, from the Missiles of Milledgeville will be in 3. In the middle of the track, Frances Jones from Carterville in 4. Dominique Boatwright, this is the first of her trifecta she's going for from Aurora Central Catholic in 5. On her outside will be Brandy Moore, unbeaten this year in all of her races. Next to her in 6, Tammy Nielsen in 7 from Erie. In 8, Megan Shutwell from Biggsville. And 9 from Sparta, Tika Ward. Ought to be great. There are the records, 12-2 by Neia Howard and 11-5 by Cynthia Tyler from East St. Louis, the old Lincoln High School.
Again, Ann, let's watch this start. It's real critical to explode, come low out of the blocks, and accelerate all the way through. They need to use efficient energy, and we can't just stop. We need to continue to accelerate all the way through the finish.
Dominique is in gold and blue, and in all blue is Brandy Moore, so right in the middle. And it is Dominique. She said, if you haven't heard of me before, you will after today. And oh, is she right. Brandy Moore behind her. Coming up on the inside is Frances Jones, but it is all Dominique Boatwright, the freshman, with her first, what she hopes are 3 state championships today.
It's the freshman phenom from Aurora.
And unofficially 11-8, which would again break the record of Neia Howard, 12-2. As we look at the start.
Look at the middle of the track. That's where Tamika is. And she looks very strong, came out of the block, stayed low as I stated. She's good use of energy. She's driving, she's accelerating, she's leading the pack. Really not a question in this one. She made it pretty easy for the pickers and timers at the end there to see that she won the race. Again, she is a freshman. Look for Dominique in the future.
There she is, your freshman state champion. Oh, is that a scary thought if you're having to coach against her?
Yes, it is, and a scary thought if you're a freshman that has to compete against her.
Good point. There she is, your fastest Class A woman. And unofficially, she may also have broken a state record, so the conditions today are obviously terrific for runners. And now the 100-meter dash for AA. In lane 1, Dominique Dawson from Lincoln. In 2, Kendra Curtin from St. Charles North. 3 is Alexis Johnson from Rich Central. Tiffany Kennedy, one of the highlights of Morgan Park's senior stars, in 4. In 5, Asia Clark, we've looked at her before. And Jessica Fouché in 6. She is also going for the trifecta. In 7, Tracy Ann Henry for Evanston Township. Jenny Roberts from Sycamore in 8. And Monique Brown in 9. Fastest woman in Illinois on the line. The record's 11-5. Good start by Asia Clark from Kenwood in lane 5, and it is Fouché and Kennedy. Fouché and Kennedy in 6 and 4. Fouché with a slight lead going in, and I believe Fouché edged her out in blue, edging out Tiffany Kennedy, the senior from Morgan Park, at the tape. She did not get the greatest start. Asia Clark did, but she made up for it in a hurry after 20 meters.
Wow. Jessica Fouché looked excellent in the last 20 meters of that race. She poured it on. You see her, she did not get the best start. She certainly came out a little bit slower, but she just starts to gain momentum as she's coming down the track, and she probably has the strongest 20-meter ending to a race I've seen. It was excellent, and I tell you, our people picking and timing sure earned their money on this one, but look at the arm drive as she drives herself through.
Something that Jessica Fouché mentioned is that her form is key to her. She can keep that form, and you can tell she stayed with it throughout the finish. It doesn't matter at the tape, you got to go through it.
Another point that she made in this morning with the media is that she uses Adia McKinnon, one of our current record holders, as a mentor. That Adia has helped her a lot in talking with her throughout the year, and that she does stay focused on her technique, and maybe Adia has a little something to do with that.
Well, she'd sure like to do what Adia did, which is win all 3 sprint events today. Well, one's in the book for both Dominique Boatwright and for Jessica Fouché.
In 3rd place, with a throw of 41.
Rebecca Franklin.
Coming up next, we have the 800 and the 4x200 right after this break. The start of the 800 run. This should be a fine one. Molly Hogan, the top seed from Wheaton St. Francis, out of the prelims on the inside. Some of the other runners to look for: Lindsay Campos of Normal University in black, Mindy Peterson, the defending champ from Taylor Ridge Rockridge in maroon, and Heidi Crawford of Sullivan Co-op. Right now, your leader is Lindsay Campos from Normal University. And on the inside of her is Wheaton St. Francis is Molly Hogan. They are 1-2, and now taking the lead is Brittany Doms from Byron. Let's look at the lane assignments in this 2-lap event. Hogan from St. Francis, Doms and Barbie, who talked about the sadness of her coach losing his mother, in Alley 1. Campos, Offman, and Hoekstra in Alley 2. Peterson, Carroll, McLeese in 3, and Crawford, Nacy, and Cox in Alley 4. We will go back and forth as you take a look at Brittany Doms from Byron is your current leader, followed by Lindsay Campos and Molly Hogan running on the outside, having to do a lot more distance work. And now it appears that going into the lead will be Molly Hogan, the junior from Wheaton St. Francis, with less than a lap to go. The record in this event is held by Canelands Maple Park's Carrie Rink out of 1988, 212.19. Now a lot of jockeying as we enter the back stretch. And now moving up is Mindy Peterson, the defending champ, and she's showing you why. Of course, we're going to have her challenged now by the outside, and I tell you what, it's a lot harder from the outside. Mindy Peterson, no you won't, as Molly Hogan tries to make a move on her, and it is Mindy Peterson and Molly Hogan side by side. Running third is is Lindsay Campos in third. Peterson and Hogan with a round the corner and down the back stretch. It is Mindy Peterson, the senior, trying to repeat as the 800 champ, coming back at her, and here comes Molly Hogan from Wheaton St. Francis. Can Peterson hold her off? It will be a duel for the last 25 minutes when there's nothing left. And she's got it. Oh my gosh, what arms. Lisa, that is a champion at work.
Incredible. It's almost like she was in drive and shifted to overdrive as she had a really quick burst there in that last 25 meters. Unfortunately, we saw...
I tell you what, look at that. That was so close. They challenge, respond, challenge. Here's the move by St. Francis's Molly Hogan coming up on her as they enter the last straightaway.
And you see Molly's doing the right thing. She's not passing on the curve, so she's expending more energy. She's kind of holding off till she gets to the straightaway. She starts to make her move, but oh my gosh, does Mindy Peterson kick it into gear and just fly to the end.
Looks like Molly's going to catch her right here. There's less than 50 meters to go. And all of a sudden, you'll see what Lisa talked about. Look at that. Head goes down. Ah!
It's determination. That's just pure determination that got her to win that race.
And Molly knew it was over.
Absolutely.
Terrific performances by both these young ladies in the 800 meters. Mindy Peterson repeats as champ. And now the AA 800. Oh, I don't know if you can top this. Swain, Rakow, and Rinker in Alley 1. That is not the same Rinker that we talked about. It was Kelly Rink. In 2, Pollock, Standard, and Ward in Alley 2. McCoy, O'Rourke, and Batkovitz in 3. Laney, Lowe, and Cole in Alley 4. Top 12 runners. They had to run a qualifying heat yesterday, and they are going to be ready to go today. Sarah Swain from Chatham-Glenwood, another Class AA school with a good cross-country history, is your #1 seed in all red.
This is a very exciting race, and it's so important to be strategic in this race. You need to know when and how to move. You don't want to get boxed in. If you get boxed in, that is just, death for an 800-meter runner. So they've got to know where to place themselves on the track.
And there are the records. Shelley McBride has the record, 207.3, and also holds the state state record. You'll notice that Joetta Clark, there is a familiar Olympic name, you know, in this past Olympic year. It's been fun to watch the Clark sisters, and we will see what happens here today. If it is a tight one, and they will stay in, and they can cut as soon as they get about around the curve. So there's a lot of jockeying and elbowing here. These kids all run indoor track as well. They're used to it. Moving well is with hip number 7 is Bethany McCoy from Metamora. And taking the early lead is Tristan Rackow from Lyons Township, the Lions of LaGrange. And right on her shoulders, Swain, now moving. They've kind of got her boxed in. Taking the early lead is Bethany McCoy from Metamora, and right on her hip is Shronda Ward of Bloom Township. And here's Samantha Pollock trying to overtake Sarah Swain from Chatham-Glenwood in this 800 for double A. They are stride for stride, hanging off the shoulders. Pollock waiting for a move, and now she makes it. Overtaking Sarah Swain, goes into the lead, the sophomore from Wheaton North. There's about 120 to go. Sarah Swain looking like she's laboring a little bit with her arms high, Lisa.
She's starting to tighten up a little bit as she comes around the last curve.
Samantha Pollock looks great coming in the straightaway, trying to make another move. Swain, but holding her off. Quick look over the right shoulder goes Pollock, and not enough there for Sarah Swain. Samantha Pollock looks to be the champion in double A 800 meters. She indeed crosses the Wheaton North Falcon, is your champ, followed by Sarah Swain from Chatham-Glenwood. It's the 4x200 meter relay, the 800. And here are your lane assignments. Red Hill in 1, Eureka in 2, Erie 3, Timothy Chrstn in 4, Milledgeville in the center in 5, Seton Academy with Jennifer Hoffman, anchor in 6, Macomb in 7, the Flying Geese of Wethersfield in 8, and St. Joe Ogden Spartans in 9. Here are the records for this event. 148.20, one of the newer records last year set by Stanford High School from Olympia. And they've been called to their blocks. The hardest race for the starters to do because they are spread around a 2-lap stagger. Look to the middle of the track, Timothy Chrstn in red with the white stripes down the side, Milledgeville in white over orange, and all in black, Seton Academy with their incredible anchor runner. And with the longer distance, it makes a bigger advantage for her if she's got anything close to the leaders.
It really does, Ann, and we need to let everybody know that the staggers are very deceiving, that the team may look like they're in front, but they're actually not. So the key thing to look at is the handoffs. Who receives the baton first? That will tell you who's in first place.
That is the look at Timothy Chrstn and their lead runner, Kate. They've switched their order. It's going to be Catherine Hennis, different than they ran yesterday. And the gun is off. And moving quickly, Seton Academy in lane 6 has a good lead, but maintaining, it's pretty even, about as even as it gets for a final right now. Especially the 3 that we touted at the beginning in lanes 4, 5, and 6. We'll watch the exchange for you. It appears that Seton Academy making a little bit of a gain, but it is very even amongst Timothy Chrstn, Milledgeville, and Seton Academy. And oh, tough exchange for Seton Academy. Much better by Timothy Chrstn. On the inside, we have a fall. Appears to be Macomb that we believe fell on the outside. Right now, it looks, of course, you're looking on the outside at Wethersfield and St. Joe Ogden, but it's a 2-lap stagger. So actually, now making the biggest move is Milledgeville in white over orange in the center of the track. They have nearly made up the 1-lap stagger already. And yes, it is Milledgeville and Kewanee and Seton Academy. Milledgeville in white, Seton Academy in black, running side by side around the south curve here at the stadium. They'll be down the straightaway to the last handoff, and then we will be looking to see who will bring it home for the 4x200. It is still Milledgeville with Seton Academy off the shoulder, and also now moving is Timothy Chrstn, now making somewhat of a move on the exchange, and Timothy Chrstn right there, but Seton Academy, and here you have Jennifer Hoffman running that anchor leg and that gliding, effortless stride. The anchor runner, the junior. Now you can see it's Milledgeville and Seton Academy. Jennifer Hoffman from Seton Academy about to anchor her second winning relay of the day. Milledgeville, and on the outside, the Flying Geese of Wethersfield trying to hold off Timothy Chrstn, and we believe did for third. Unofficially very near the record of 143.4, but we believe just off it. 143.80. A tremendous leg for the star from Seton Academy, Jennifer Hoff. Now double A. On the inside lane, the Trojans of Downers Grove North in 2. North Chicago, Rich South High School in 3. Hillside Proviso West in 4. Morgan Park, they'd really like to claim a championship. And Evanston right next to them in 6. Harvey, Thornton High School in 7. Danville in 8. And the Knights of Mount Prospect in 9.
And you know, another crucial thing in this event is you want to get the baton to your quicker runners sooner. So, you know, if you're chasing after the person to try to get them the baton, it's not a good thing. You want to get it to them in the beginning of the exchange zone, especially the anchor leg, who usually is your fastest person.
We also believe we may have given you an incorrect record. It's 139.65 by Morgan Park. Oh, and we have the dreaded second gun. We never want to hear it. First of the day, and we didn't want to see any. Unfortunately, someone is not going to be able to start this race. We'll wait to see. They will walk into the lane where the foul occurred, and then we will see. The Trojans from Downers North are turning their back, and I'm afraid it's going to be Downers North's Trojans. And there, take a look at 4 of the pioneers in women's track and athletics here in Illinois who have been richly honored as honorary referees this year. Paula Coker, Jane Davis, Dorothy Dawson, and Mabel Hawley. We've worked with all 4 of these women. These girls have them to thank for the quality of athletics and to be able to run this race. And we are sad to know that the Downers Grove North Trojans have been dismissed as a result of a false start and will not have an opportunity to race. And you just feel for that young lady because she feels like she let her teammates down. Oh, the agony. Being consoled by some of our incredible 150 volunteer officials that make this meet run as it does in this event. Could not do it without them. They're all volunteers. They pay their own way and come down to help out girls athletics. And many of them have been coming since it began in 1972. There's a look at the Danville runner. She, of course, is not your first runner. She'd be down in the blocks. And they're recalled to the blocks. Gun is up. Again, call your attention to the middle. Proviso West in all red. Morgan Park in white over orange, and Evanston in orange over blue in the center of the track. Good start. Might as well wait this time. Very quick start by the Wildcats of Evanston on their lead leg. Appear to have the early lead. Down the back straightaway. Evanston moving very, very well. We'll watch the handoffs. The Wildcats, of course, in the running for a state trophy. They were no stranger to bringing home state hardware. And yes, it is. It's the Wildcats. The exchange is good. And quickly, not only did they get a good handoff, but good acceleration out of the zone.
Wow, she is flying around the curve. And again, the deceptiveness of the staggers, you can see she's walking down that stagger. As they narrow the distance between each other, you can tell that they're making up that stagger.
And now also moving very well is Thornton Harvey High School. Mount Prospect appeared to be in the lead, but first handing off definitely are the Wildcats of Evanston. Morgan Park a little bit behind. On the inside, Proviso West. And Richton Park also moving well. Rich South High School. Morgan Park now making up a lot on the staggers, but Evanston has an incredible lead in this event. Their first 2 runners giving a lot of cushion for the last 2.
And I believe we have a familiar name going to get the baton here from the Evanston girl, Coretta Evans, the sophomore from Evanston Township, gets the final baton.
And they are clearly in the league. Morgan Park trying to make up ground on Thornton. Harvey, Thornton of Harvey, and Morgan Park now making up an incredible leg, but the Wildcats have such a lead. It is Evanston, Morgan Park, Harvey, Thornton, and now moving well on the inside, Proviso West trying to nudge out third. It'll be close to the tape, but it looks like it is the Wildcats, Morgan Park Mustangs, and Harvey Thornton. With quickly coming up was Hillside Proviso West, unofficially 139.47. And again, if that were to hold, that would be a new state record. But we are unofficial as you look at the Wildcats.
As you see coming off the back stretch is Coretta Evans of Evanston. She is just a sophomore. She's run strong all day. You can see she's another one of those runners with a long gliding stride. Those tend to do much better in the 200 event.
In 8th place, with a jump of 17.
That is Coretta Evans, the sophomore, anchoring 2 relays for the Wildcats so far today.
Morgan Park did sneak in for second place in team points.
And we have so much more exciting action, but right now, let's go to this message. Oh, it used to be, I thought, the hardest race around. Now I think it may be the 300 hurdles, but the 400-meter dash, and what a dash we have for you on tap. In Class A, 400-meter dash, here are the lane assignments. Jenny Gudzinski, who has anchored some racers you've seen earlier or led off for Wheaton St. Francis. Mary Hearne in 2. Laura Gurka from IBC. The Grey Ghosts of Chillicothe in 4. Christine Hammer from the Marcos Apollo in 4. Gina Rollins, 2-time defending champ, going for number 3, the senior. And who else but Dominique Boatwright looking for the second leg of her Triple Crown today. Megan Shutwell in 7. In 8 is Katie O'Rourke and Lindsey Meyers in 9. So look to Gina Rollins, the senior, who wants to hold off Dominique Boatwright, the freshman.
Gina Rollins gave this morning the athlete oath in the opening ceremonies, and that was quite emotional for her. So we hope she can bounce back and use that as motivation.
The record is held by Barb Fogel from Mount Carmel, another one of those old records, 1981, 56.2. State record by, hey, a young lady you know, Adia McKinnon from HF.
That's a new record. That was last year.
One of her record, but she had 3 championships to go with it.
That's
and
absolutely
of course,
correct.
Jessica Fouché trying to do the same thing in AA. And this is the second leg for Dominique Boatwright. Can she overtake the defending champ? I can guarantee this, won't go down without a fight. And a good start. Dominique very quickly out of the blocks. And Gina Rollins on the inside in all blue, making up on the curve. Of course, curve running and straightaway, they have different strengths. Gina Rollins runs them both well, and they go into their stride. Rollins has the longer stride, the longer body, and the power by Dominique Boatwright. You can bet they're going to duel. There's only 200 done so far, and there will be a lot of strategy. Who's going to come off the turn and take it through? When do you make your move, if you can?
That's exactly right. This is a full-out sprint. This is not just a jog. This is a sprint from start to finish.
Sometimes it's tougher to defend. Sometimes it's tougher to challenge. I can guarantee it hurts right now. Boatwright trying to come up and making a move on Rollins. Rollins trying to hold her off. Rollins to the finish with shoulder. Will Rollins hold it? The senior strides through and makes her 3rd straight championship, puts her hands on her head, smiles, and say, oh my gosh, I've done it. And I can tell you this, I bet she's very glad that she's going to graduate and get out of the way. Because I tell you what a tremendous champion this young lady has been. She is your champion in the A 400-meter dash, and a fight it was with Dominique Boatwright, the old and the new.
That's absolutely correct.
Call again on the 300 row hurdles. Call on the 300 row hurdles.
Congratulations to Gina Rollins for this race. She certainly was getting a challenge at the end by Dominique Boatwright. Again, you know, she held on. I'm not sure if the race was longer than she could have, but maybe she could have because she's the senior, and that senior experience shows through here at the end of this race. She comes through very smoothly, and it looks like Dominique might have lost a little bit of her form there at the end, and she kind of went a little bit all over the track, and I think maybe just that's the freshman newness to the event showing through.
Oh, I tell you what, she definitely challenged, but it was not quite enough on this day. The senior takes it home. And the AA 400-meter, Angela Thomas in 1 from Whitney Young. Megan Dara from Lake Forest, the Scouts in 2. Providence Catholic's New Lenox, Brianna Berman in 3. Damaris Parchment, a fine runner from Morgan Park. Jessica Fouché, she's looking for the second leg from Good Counsel in Chicago in 5. Jenny Roberts on her outside from Sycamore in 6. Kim Leah from Argo Summit in 7. Kadika Dickerson from Springfield Southeast. And Christy Levanti from the Chargers of Champaign Centennial in 9.
We have the awards from the Class AA 800-meter rod. In 9th place, the time of 2:19.47.
Again, as
the field is set, they're warming up, but we've still got awards going on. I tell you what, that was a terrific race. And again, unofficially, And we keep emphasizing that because we're looking at the stadium clock, and it doesn't count until you see the FAT, the fully automatic timing done by the video cameras downstairs, started by the gun itself, that counts. But if it were to hold up, that would be a new record as well in A.
We're seeing a lot of records fall today. I think it has a little bit to do with the wonderful weather that we're having here in Charleston. It is beautiful, sunny. We have a slight wind, but not bad. So we're real happy about the weather conditions.
The first ever honorary referee, as we mentioned, the 4 from this year, was Ola Bundy, Assistant Executive Director of the IHSA for many, many years, and a driving force, not only here in Illinois, but also nationally, well recognized as being a leader and pioneer in women's athletics. I personally, as do you, Lisa, owe a very big debt of gratitude to her for all she has done for girls athletics.
Well, I respect Ola very much because, you know, I was a track athlete here in Illinois some 20 years ago, and Ola was a driving force and a mentor and just a personal role model at that time, as she was pushing very hard for female athletes.
And one of those athletes benefiting, you just saw a great look at Jessica Fouché as she concentrates before her race, the second leg on her attempt to win a Triple Crown today. To Dominique Boatwright, unable to do so in A, and you can see how tough it is. This, I think, is the toughest one, although there certainly is a little bit more room to come back and forward. And the 100 getting it underneath is good. Do you have the endurance? On the inside of her in white over orange will be Damaris Parchment, and outside will be Jenny Roberts of Sycamore in black.
Well, we talked about just the effort that this takes. This is a one-day event here, and they've already run yesterday, and they're full out sprinting, and the pressures that are involved and the emotional side of the track event also plays a factor.
Fouché going out quickly, establishing something to go after, but going right with her is Parchment from Morgan Park. So Fouché, all three of the middle track, Fouché and Roberts running stride for stride in the back straight. And the inside is Parchment. Remember, there's a stagger. She's going to have a little more advantage. It's going to be about even coming around the curve. This is tough to hold, this kind of pace, and your form will be crucial. Wow, all of a sudden Fouché making a big move and a statement as she comes out of the curve and into the straightaway. She's going to make her challenge and see if anybody can pick up the gauntlet, because she's thrown it down. Fouché, the senior, pulling away, and now moving into second is Jenny Roberts, trying to catch up to Damaris Parchment. It looks to be Roberts in second, but it is going to be Jessica Fouché, the senior, on the second leg of her quest. He is successful, 54.77 unofficially, in a very well-run race. I think that's relief. Oh.
That is definitely a relief as Jessica picks up her second gold of the day. You can see Jessica at about 150 yards left. She really decided that it was her time to make her move, and she kicked it in. And but as she accelerates, she doesn't lose her power. She doesn't lose her form. She stays with it. She keeps her arms pumping, and at the end, she has a great big smile.
Set a goal, work to make it happen, and there's the smile of a champion, two-time champion.
And she'll have something to talk to Adia about.
That'll be a great call out to UCLA,
yes,
won't it?
Yes, it will.
And here's our next race, what I think now has become the most difficult. That last hurdle must look like a mountain. The 300-meter low hurdles for Class A. In 1, Nikki Fowler. Jennifer Link in 2. Whitney McComas in 3. Abby Redmond in 4. Chelsea Humphrey, she's your 100-meter champ. Let's see what she can do. She's the lead runner in this one. Laura Hamilton in 6, Jenny Mandak, a very nice hurdler from Braidwood Reed Custer in 7, Amanda Bergman in 8, and Kate McDaniel from Milledgeville in 9. The record in this event is held by Jenny Mangrum in Litchfield in 1988, 43.75. There you're looking at Jenny Mandak practicing her hurdles from Braidwood Reed Custer, number 74, with the RC on her chest. I think this event is very difficult.
It's incredible because once you get to the end of the race, your legs are just so heavy, and you have to get over those hurdles, although they call them the low hurdles. Like you said earlier, they have to look like mountains.
It's a relatively new event. It certainly was not an original event. And of course, we have the first ever. We knew we'd have a state record today, because for the very first year, the pole vault's being competed for in the state of Illinois. It has nationally a year ago, and many of the conferences used it as a trial. but it has been competing here at state, and it's exciting. And the kids are loving it. A lot of gymnasts, a lot of divers. People don't mind going upside down.
Absolutely.
In this race, we have the defending record-breaking Chelsea Humphrey. The senior from Kewanee Wethersfield will be in green in the middle of the track. What a beautiful hurdler. Now, she's a left-footed hurdler, left-legged hurdler in the hundreds, but she has switched as fatigue overtakes and the strides change in this event. That will be typical. Outside of her is Timothy Christian's Laura Hamilton in red, and inside is Abby Redmond of Galena in blue. Those are 4, 5, and 6.
Again, things to look for. No chopping or extending between the hurdles. You want to have a smooth rhythm to each hurdle. You want to run through the hurdles as if they're not on the track and be smooth and fluid. This is really a sprint just as well as all the other events. So only the strong will survive.
It looks like Abby Redmond got a jump on the early. Now, no matter what happens here in the race, we have certainly seen, as we lost one runner inside, we'll try to attempt to check that for you. And having difficulty even on that hurdle was Chelsea Humphrey. She was wrong-footed and had to kind of short-step it. The last hurdle has a big barrier, and you can win it there. And Timothy Christian's Laura Hamilton is neck and neck. Outside of her is Amanda Bergen from Burlington Central, and inside is Abby Redmond. Redmond, Hamilton, Bergman. Oh, it's Redmond on the inside, but the last hurdle is so tough. Timothy Christian, oh my gosh, it is so close at the finish. We believe, and that's simply our call, that would have been lane 4, Redmond on lane 4, then Hamilton in 6, and Bergman in 8. But we don't count.
Boy, that's almost too close to call. I agree with you, but boy, it almost looked like Laura Hamilton got the lean in there at the end. It'll be interesting what the finish line has to say on that race.
Here you see them coming with 100 meters to go. And you see a little bit of, you'll watch the short, choppy steps as they attempt to get over these.
Well, usually the winner is the one who's able to maintain their hurdle form all the way through, because you see, it just gets really difficult. You're tired at this point in the race. Your leg starts to swing out wide. You're not snapping. You're not running through the hurdle as you're supposed to do. And that last hurdle is the most crucial. Right there is where you determine whether you're going to win or lose, basically.
In fact, that last hurdle almost was the undoing of Abby Redmond in lane 4. She clipped it.
And she simply stood straight up.
Oh, and Timothy Christian's Laura Hamilton was able to stand straight up, but the finish, that's what we have the AccuTrack and the fat timing for, as it is too close to call from here. Terrific race, 3 across the front in the A 300 hurdles. Now the double A. Laura Shimon in lane 1 from Waubonsee Valley. Christina Gutierrez in 2. From the Silver Streaks of Galesburg, Ardith Johnson in 3. Tiffany Johnson, a terrific hurdler from Danville. Don Harper, your record setter in double A, the senior in lane 5. Nancy Figueroa, a terrific hurdler from the Pirates of Palatine. Kim Swain in 7. Lindsay Rowe and from Bloomington in 8, and Jamila Smith from Evanston out in lane 9. Here we go for the start of the 300-meter low hurdles. This is the double A race. That's Figueroa in white over red you're looking at. And next to her is Don Harper, the defending and new champ in the 100, setting the record, and Tiffany Johnson from Danville inside of her. And very quickly is Don Harper making it look easy. Figueroa on her outside, but it's the orange of Don Harper right now making mincemeat out of the hurdles early on. Oh, Harper looks terrific as she glides over those hurdles. Figueroa is right next to her, though, as a very tough competitor in white over red. Also on the outside running well is Kim Swain from Proviso West. I'm sorry, that's Lindsay Rowe from Bloomington. Lindsay Rowe of Bloomington running very well in lane 8. Figueroa in 3rd, and also Jamila Smith from Evanston. But it is all Don Harper, then Lindsay Rowe, Nancy Figueroa, but that last hurdle yet to be challenged, and it is there. It is going to be Don Harper doubling the 100 and 300, then Lindsay Rowe and Nancy Figueroa, 1, 2, 3 in the 300 low hurdles. A little bit easier to pick on that one.
Yes, it was.
Dawn Harper able to maintain her form a little bit better. Look,
that's the difference, Ann. You're very correct. She did maintain her form. You notice that she doesn't leave the ground for very long. The key is to not leave the ground, to stay on the ground as long as possible, to remove that obstacle from the track. And she does, you know, at the end she does start to lose it a little bit, but she was the best at maintaining that form throughout the entire race. And she really finished a strong race, and she looked much stronger than some of the other contestants as they finished. And again, Dawn doubles.
Well, we finished with the 300 as they leave the track, and the next event will be the 1,600-meter run. But first, let's hear a message from our sponsors. There you have a graphic of the greatest state meet ever. That when the most records were broken in a single state meet. 5 records, 816 relays, the 800, 1600, and the 3200 meter runs. We've already mentioned some of those, and we've had 2 today already. We'll talk about those in a while. The 1600 meter run for A. Alley 1, Fleischhacker, Zeiler, and McAllister. Alley 2, Peterson, Binney, and Zaninger. Alley 3, Levine, Sims, and Selby. You already saw Selby go out and just demolish the field in the 32. See if she's got anything left. And in 4th alley, Gingrich, Carroll, and Brenner. Brenner ran a very nice 3200 as well. There's the field for the 1600. 4 laps. The metric mile. The record has held, there we go, that part of that 84 meet. Susie Tuffy from Bergen, A, and the state record, 446.5. And Shelley McBride holds it from Crele-Monee the year after, 449. One of 2 records where the A class winner, and yours is the other one, Lisa.
Thanks, Ann, for
You're
that
welcome.
little plug.
Well deserved. I tell you what, it's tough to set those kinds of records, and it's been a target on the back, and this is long standing, and records are made to be broken. Dorothy Dawson, one of our honorary referees, mentioned that today. She challenged the kids to go after the records, and I dare say they've accepted that.
That's why they keep records. Otherwise, it wouldn't matter. They keep them because they want kids to be challenged and motivated to beat them.
In fact, records that have been broken today officially in the 100 high hurdles class AA was Dawn Harper from East St. Louis, 13.54. Also breaking the record and finishing second was Shanna Pickett from Morgan Park. And in the 3200, Melissa Straza's record in the 3200 with AA, Maria Cicero beat it. Maria Cicero of York, 10:17.28, almost 4 seconds.
And actually, Ann, we've really had 3 records broken in this meet because Chelsea Humphrey broke her own record yesterday, so that would still stand as a record. So we're on our way to maybe that greatest meet in history. And we've got 3.
Well, we know we're going to have 4 because the pole vault's going to be 4.
That's absolutely correct. So if we have an idea that one of these 1600 meter relay or one of these 1600 meter run records might fall today. So we might be in store to do that again.
We are in very high company today.
Yes, we are.
This is terrific. And you know, it's been quite a while since we've had some of those fall, and you never know why. Conditions have to be just right. You have to have healthy athletes. You have to have good weather. And yesterday was a little tougher, but the coolness helped, certainly for the longer distance runners, so they didn't stress as much yesterday coming into today. Fleischhacker is in yellow over blue in the inside position, and she is from Luther North. And looking again at the inside of the alleys, as you look at some of the fans here, taking movies for posterity. Boy, that's a new sight. Didn't used to be that anywhere. Mount Olive and Plano. So many teams and athletes down here setting personal records, competing as student athletes. And remember, this is the other half of education. Attitude, the sportsmanship banner for the IHSA, something that we hold very dearly and tout as we go along. And they are up. This will be 4 laps, a grueling 4 laps, and it is nearing a sprint with the way these young ladies run it. Very evenly bunched, and they come around the curve. They will break to the inside. They must have a full stride so they don't impede any runner. Looks like Lindsay Zeiler from Massac County, who is the defending champ, is going to take the early lead, and right behind her is Tracy Fleischhacker settling in. Now everybody's got to jockey, not get boxed in. Usually the last words from the coach are, don't get boxed in.
Absolutely. Positioning is really important. With the mile, the girls have a little more time to make their move, and they have more time to get in position, but they certainly don't want to get boxed in.
Sarah Selby is looking for the difficult double. Your 3200 champ settling in there easily. She made it look like a walk in the park in the 32. A very easy runner, very light on her feet, very slight young lady.
And we talked about she's only a sophomore. I mean, she looks like a sophomore. That she's not a very big girl, and she's definitely got a distance runner body, and she certainly could double in the mile and the 2 mile today.
Lindsey Zeiler still leading the race, and this is the first of 4 laps. Sarah Selby in second, and Tracy Fleischhacker in third, and Andrea Gingrich, who is a fine runner from Midwest Central, is in fourth as they finish lap 1 of 4.
Southern Illinois along.
Number 2, Lindsey Zeiler from Massac County, the defending champ, running easily in first. Took a quick look over his shoulder to look at Tracy Fleischhacker and Mindy Peterson from Taylor Ridge Rockridge, her closest competitors. They are not as close as they appear in that shot from down the straightaway. She looks very strong. Zeiler looking to repeat. She's a junior, won it as a sophomore. Now moving into second is Mindy Peterson from Rockridge, and in third is Tracy Fleischhacker of Luther North High School. But it is all Lindsey Zeiler taking a quick look as she uses the curve, looking very nice and easy down the side. Look at that form. Easy, arms are still low, no tightening up. And the sun cooperated by going under to make it a little cooler.
She keeps sneaking peeks behind her, though. She's worried about who's coming up on her, and she really has a pretty good lead. She's opened up a nice gap between herself and second. She's wasting a little energy by peeking back. She did it again there. I've seen 3 or 4 peeks on this last lap.
To give you an idea of how tough that record by Susie Tuffy, back at the 200 mark was when Susie would have finished.
Incredible.
That was where she was at 4:33.
There she's peeking.
Now we got to move. All of a sudden, we've got an incredible move, and Lindsey Zeiler may not know it, but Mindy Peterson is on a mission. She is going, oh, she took a quick look, but now she's got to shift gears, and Mindy Peterson's in some other level. Mindy Peterson with one of the most incredible last parts of a race I have ever seen. Charges by, unaware was Lindsey Zeiler, and Mindy Peterson will be the 1600-meter champ in an incredible straightaway finish.
I've never seen that strong of a finish in the 1600-meter run. She came around the last curve, and the crowd seemed to start cheering, and she heard that. You see her taking peeks at her there, but Mindy was incredible. She comes around this last curve. The fans start cheering a little bit. The kick is incredible. She just blows past her like she is coming out of starting blocks.
And you saw Zeiler put her head down and try to go, but at that point it was too late. Interesting also that when she took a look back over her left shoulder, Mindy Peters was actually over her right, had already made up enough distance. I don't think she saw her.
That's correct. She heard the crowd, so she knew something was happening. So she did peek over the left shoulder. Mindy happened to be over her right shoulder.
Well, I tell you what, how you look at it, Mindy Peterson, a senior from Rockridge, is your champ. Now for AA. We have been waiting for this race, and we just saw a great one. I don't know how you top it. Maria Cicero, who did win the 3200, looking for the double, from Elmhurst, York. And along with her in Alley 1 is Donlin and Vermette. In Alley 2, Odlog, Ainsley, and Scott. In 3 will be Swain, DiCrescenzo, and Lowe. And in 4, Lake, Wagner, and Byrne. That is a fabulous group of runners, all cross-country runners, all well-known to each other. No secrets here, but part of what's going to happen is, did you run the 3200, or are you only doing the 16, and are you running any legs on any relays that may have cost you a little bit of energy today?
Well, Ann, you and I talked a little earlier, too. Has anyone ever set 2 state records in the same meet? And really, Maria Cicero has the opportunity to do that today.
I think Susie Tuffy did when she did the 16 and 32, which is even more amazing. You saw those records. Tuffy's record is 446.5, and McBride's is 449.1. And easily yesterday, Maria Cicero, very clearly, without any competition, was about 451. And I love Diana Ainsley from Palatine goes, that was crazy. Well, crazy or not, as you look at Odlog from Deerfield and some of the fans taking in the action on this beautiful day. A little bit of cloud cover, but it's really kind of nice for these kids and perfect for timing for the 1600.
Perfect conditions.
Cicero from York High School is wearing yellow. I can't get used to that because it's a long green line of the York Dukes, but she's wearing yellow. And we also want to remind you that one of the great places to take a look at all the information is www.ihsa.org. All the news, 40,000 people can't be wrong. Why don't you be the next? And Maria Cicero quickly taking out. Oddlog is also there, and Diana Ainsley from Palatine in white over red. Again, it doesn't matter where you were seated here. They ran a qualifying heat yesterday, but they tried to reserve as much to leave something for today. Will Cicero have enough left? Will there be a record? I will tell you this. Oh, she is moving quickly on the inside to make sure, and we are clean to try to make sure that she is not outside and boxed in. It appears that Delilah DiCrescenzo from Queen of Peace is your early leader. Talk about a pack of quality. There's 12 runners, barely 5 yards separating them.
You know, and you talked about Ainsley a little bit ago. She ran an incredible leg in the 4x800 meter relay today. So she expended a lot of energy. It'll be interesting to see if she saved enough to do well here in the 1600.
Well, there she is in white over red, running in third position right now as Cicero takes the lead. Ainsley in white over red, Oddlog, who is your runner-up in the 3200, in fourth, and running third is DiCrescenzo. After one lap, that's your field.
Ainsley of Palatine.
Maria Cicero of Elmhurst York High School is in the lead and now beginning to extend it a little bit on Diana Ainsley, the senior from the Pirates of Palatine. She is looking very strong. Remember, she is the 3200 meter champion and new record holder, and she was looking to take out Susie Tuffy's long-standing 1984 1600 meter record as well. It will be an awfully tough split to make this on the last lap after her 32, but a tremendous, she could break 5, and she did 3:51 yesterday. She is extending her lead, looking good on the back stretch. Ainsley in second, and Erica Oddlog of Deerfield is in third. You get a look at the distance that she has now put between herself and the runner-up at this point. And Ainsley's running a terrific race. Maria Cicero trying to double, the senior from Elmhurst York, having a tremendous year. And I don't think she's going to make the same mistake of not being aware of where her competition is, though we know Ainsley has a kick.
She does have a kick. We saw that in the 4x800 meter relay, but she looks pretty comfortable here. Maria looks like she's going to bring home the gold.
And I think Ainsley had to work awfully hard, and she's being moved on right now by Erica Oddlog for going into second. It will be tight there. Ainsley is not aware of it, but it's going to be all Maria Cicero will double in the 32 and 16, and Ainsley unaware. Oddlog trying to catch her at the tape, but Ainsley hangs on for second. You see Cicero look at her hand. Maria Cicero is your double state champion, 3216. What a tremendous year.
And for Palatine to trophy, I think it's important that Ainsley held off for second there for team points.
Absolutely. The Pirates definitely in the running for team trophies. But it's Maria Cicero, the senior. And you see the other two runners, that's Ainsley in white and Oddlog in red behind her. A little bit tighter, arms a little higher this time of the day.
She's a little bit tighter, but remember, she did run that 3200 and set a new state record earlier, so she has every right to be a little tighter in this race.
And unofficially, not much off her time yesterday, 4:52.8, a terrific two-day total for the terrific senior from York. Hey, we've had some great races. We have 2 events left, but let's go to Lee Hall with some field reports.
Athletic Director Dr. Rich McDuffie, Associate Athletic Director Dr. Roger Jellica, Assistant Athletic Director.
We are with the super sophomores, the winners in the Class A girls long jump, the Class A and the Double A. We got Terry Abraham and Dominique Dawson, and their buddies. Tell me about that. You guys know each other. Argenta Oriana and Lincoln.
We've been friends for a long time. We've came up playing sports against each other and going to church. So that's how we became really good friends.
Terry, tell me about your jumping today. You weren't too happy with it. You've been pretty busy, qualified in 4 events, been running around all day.
Yeah, it was kind of difficult going from high jump to long jump, and I couldn't get a good long jump off for anything. But I guess whatever I won from yesterday, so I'd be happy with that.
Rode that 17 feet from yesterday. Tell me what it means to have your friend sharing the joy today.
It was great. I was hoping she would win. I was cheering for her the whole way. And in the 100 too, I was watching
Yeah, we've been cheering for each other. We told each other, I said, you're going to win the long jump in single A, I'm going to win the long jump in double A. And we did it. That was our goal.
Now, who's taller?
I'm taller. But she
I'm
thinks
coming up. I'm
she's supposed
coming
to be
up.
taller, but I'm taller.
I'm coming up on her.
Okay, well, I know that was the big argument before we came on camera. Terry, tell me, you had another friend win a state championship?
Angie.
Yeah, in the triple jump.
Yeah, we were supposed to go. Both of us were supposed to go #1, but I'm really happy she did. She didn't jump her best either. She's kind of upset about that, but she won, so I'm really happy for her.
All right, congratulations to both long jump champions today. They had a great embrace for each other when they saw each other, and congratulations all around to them. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Lee. Some very excited sophomores. They're fun. It's so nice to see some of the friendships that have developed as well as a result of sports. And here is, on paper, what could be the best race of the day. The A200-meter dash. In 1, Megan Shutwell. Alicia Tracy in 2. Frances Jones in 3. And then let's look at 4, 5, and 6. Gina Rollins, your 3-time 400 champ. Dominique Boatwright in 5, and Jennifer Hoffman, that anchor leg runner from Seton Academy, in 6. Watch them. Erica Meyer in 7, Sue Abring in 8, and Caritha Carroll in 9. A terrific, star-studded field.
Susan Harris, Peter Dash, and Class A now into the block.
There you see some fishing going on out the ponds. It is so beautiful down here. Eastern Illinois University is such a wonderful venue for this event, and the track meet has been held here every year. But this is the first of the Spring Spectacular. I'm Ann Penstone, along with Lisa Ferry, the shot put record holder, bringing you all the action as we get ready for what could be a premier event. Always certainly star-studded cast, and in the middle of the field, as you look at some of the fans here enjoying today's fine weather, there's one of them right there. That's Jennifer Hoffman from Seton Academy. She'll be in lane 6. Inside of her will be Dominique Boatwright, the 100-meter champ, and Gina Rollins, the 400-meter champ. Is it Jennifer's chance?
Boy, what a great race. I'm telling you, our eyes better be glued to the middle of the track, because this is going to be a quick one, Nan.
The start may be over at the start, or who runs the curves better.
That's exactly right. You need to accelerate coming off that curve. That first curve is so important, and the runners need to know how to lean into that curve and use it to their advantage. So it's a continual acceleration, and that's so important. We'll see who knows, and maybe it'll be experience that'll lead to the victory in this race. But boy, does Jennifer Hoffman look good in the 200. I think, you know, her body style is one made for this race.
You saw Alicia Tracy from Oblong in lane 2, and the crowd standing near the finish line. They cannot wait to see the start. You could bet the binoculars are trained down to the far side of the track. They've been called to their marks. Rollins is in all blue. Boatwright has got a yellow stripe down the side, and in all black is Jennifer Hoffman. It's a good start. Very quickly, Dominique Boatwright got the best start. She's moving on the inside with Hoffman on her outside. Dominique Boatwright, who finished second in the 400. Stride for stride, tall and short of it. Hoffman on the outside, closest to the camera. On the inside is Dominique Boatwright. It is now Hoffman retaking the lead. Hoffman and Boatwright, and Rollins moving into third. It is Jennifer Hoffman. They each get a championship. Dominique Boatwright and Gina Rollins on the inside for third.
Right next to the Ford Expressway in South Holland. Another apparent
A look of quiet determination as you look at the turn. On the taller is Hoffman, the shorter is Boatwright.
And this was a classic. I mean, she could have put on a clinic here on how to run the 200. You saw as Jennifer Hoffman came off the curve, she was starting to accelerate, and you see that acceleration continues. She's just accelerating all the way through the race. So I think she ran a better curve than Dominique Boatwright, and I think that may be just due to her experience in doing so. She is a junior, and Dominique is a freshman. So we'll see both those ladies back next year.
That was very close unofficially to a record. And now the AA 200-meter dash in lane 1. Marcia Faustin from Orland Park. Asia Clark, the fine spinner from Kenwood Academy, in 3. Tracy Ann Henry, one of the Wildcats from Evanston. Jenny Roberts from Sycamore in 4. Shanna Pickett, who also broke a record but was second in the race. Jessica Fouché, this is the last leg of the Triple Crown. Can she finish it out? In 6. Tiffany Kennedy, one of the people who will definitely try to stop her, in 7. Kelly Kirby from Edwardsville in 8. And Alexis Johnson in 9. Here are the records for this event. Doris Spearman, 23.7. And that is one of the oldest records, 24.9 by Shelley Smith. Talk about pressure. Now that you've won 2, the third one just sitting there for the taking, it's got to be so difficult. But Jessica Fouché in lane 6, trying to make good on her attempt at the Triple Crown. Shanna Pickett of Morgan Park in 5, Tiffany Kennedy in 7, and Jenin Robinson in lane 4 from Sycamore. There you look at Jessica Fouché, your double sprint champion so far. You might have noticed the national record held by a familiar name, Marian Jones.
Sure. You know the adrenaline's pumping at this point, Ann.
Stand-up start from the outside by Kelly Kirby. It's good. Fouché very quickly on the start, but also moving very well is Shanna Pickett. Shanna Pickett just powering around the curve on Fouché. Shanna Pickett from Chicago Morgan Park, and Jessica Fouché. There she is, bookended by the 2 Morgan Park runners. And now Fouché coming up, Fouché coming up, Fouché! Oh! I think she got her at the tape, but I'll tell you what, it's going to take a replay to tell it, and what a finish. You said she may have the best last 20 meters.
I said that before, and I'll say it again, and she looked incredible in the last 20 meters of that race.
If she didn't get it, she did everything you can to try, and Shanna Pickett did everything to stop her. Here's Pickett coming out of the turn.
As they come off the curve, boy, does Pickett look strong. She looks really good. She's accelerating. Her form looks good. Look at the gap as it starts to close. We've got about 20 meters left, and now look at Fouché. She just turns on the jets, and I don't know, Ann. You and I both think she might have got her at the end. It's hard to tell from where we're at, but boy, did she put all she had into that race.
Here she's moving, the arms are pumping, she's gaining on Pickett, closing the gap, and you will see the lean at the end, which is a classic sprinter and a well-trained one. If she does, it will be because of the lean. She is close to even here.
In 7th place.
Oh, boy.
We are slightly behind the finish line. Great camera work as you see the other Morgan Park runner, Tiffany Kennedy, coming in as third.
Thank goodness for AccuTrack.
They're both waiting. Nobody really knows, but I'll tell you what, that was a fabulous race by all of those runners. As they await the outcome officially, for Jessica Fouché, it would be Adia McKinnon. It would be her chance to tell her mentor, I did it. I did what you did. It looks...
And it's the chest. Remember, it's not the head. It's the chest. First part of the trunk that crosses the finish line.
The interesting part is we're looking from the outside. That's the picture that we have. The fully automatic timing, the camera's on the inside. It can be a different angle.
That's correct. She's got the medal.
But we don't know if...
It looks like she's smiling. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think that's a gold medal from before. They're doing a report on her as a star. I don't think they've officially decided on that. But she certainly hopes it is. And it does appear that, especially when you see the body position, that Jessica Fouché may have made her dream come true, but not without a tremendous challenge by Shanna Pickett.
And how important are the team points for Morgan Park? Two in the top 3, either 2nd and 3rd or 1 and 3.
Well, we have another event, just one left in the track events today, but Lee Hall has some more news for us. Lee?
And we're getting ready for the 4x400, the last event.
Here's a look at our top 3 in the Class A triple jump. In 3rd place, Steph Higgins of Biggsville Union. In 2nd place, Lorden Hedenschaug of Braidwood Reed Custer. And our winner is Angie Hawk from Argenta Oriana, jump of 36.3½. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. It's great. I mean, I've wanted this for 3 years and now I've got it.
Tell me, you're only a junior. You came here as a freshman, competed, came here last year. Where'd you finish last year?
3rd.
3rd. Tell me about all that experience and how that helps you coming down here for the state championship this year.
It helps a lot with the nerves. I mean, you're not going to be nearly as nervous if you know what's coming. It's just everything.
What was key for you today?
The weather. It was a little bit better than yesterday, but I didn't jump as well, so it was kind of weird.
You were tied coming out of the preliminaries and were able to pull ahead and win by a pretty comfortable margin today.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me about, you aren't the only state champ from Argenta Oriana today. Tell me how that makes you feel.
Oh, it's great. I mean, Terry Abraham's only a sophomore, and she won the long jump with a good jump. I mean, she's awesome. You'll see her next year, too.
We'll see you here next year.
Yeah.
All right, Angie Hawk, the winner in the Class A triple jump.
We're good.
Keep going.
Look at that time.
A look at the track as we are getting ready for the last event of this beautiful Spring Spectacular Day, the 4x400. And of course, we'll also have some more field reports with Lee Hall's doing a terrific job on all the 6 events outside the track and inside the confines. But now the lane assignments in this 4x400. And we'll be back with those lane assignments after this message. The 4x400, the final event of the day for Class A. In lane 1, St. Joe Ogden. In 2, Stillman Valley. The Marcos Apollo in 3, Columbia in 4, Timothy Christian in 5, Wheaton St. Francis in 6, Richmond Birkin, the Rockets in 7, Eureka in 8, and the Missiles of Milledgeville in 9. And a good start in this final event. The first lap, they run in lanes. After that, the second runner will go around the curve and then cut in, and then it's anybody's race. There will be a lot of jockeying in this 4-lap race. Moving well on the outside right now is Richmond Burton and also Wheaton St. Francis in blue. That's Richmond Burton in yellow over purple. As you look at maroon, I'm sorry. And inside now making a move is Wheaton St. Francis. But of course, this is 1 lap of 4. You have to have 4 good quarter milers, basically.
That's absolutely correct. Again, you can't hide anybody in this race. It's a full sprint for 4 laps, each runner having to be a good quarter miler. The exchanges are important. We talked about this earlier. You've got to get the baton to the fresh legs as soon as possible. So you want to get it in the start of the exchange zone, not in the back of the exchange zone.
And it appears that Wheaton St. Francis will be first to exchange. This record on this event is held by Tuscola in 1994. 4 minutes, 6/10. So the magical 4-minute mark is the one everybody shoots for. And it's tough. You try to go run a quarter mile, everybody's got to run under a minute to do that, or somebody's got to really be blazing.
Again, the third exchange they can cut in, or the second exchange after they reach the point in the track, they're all cutting in now.
It's Wheaton St. Francis and Timothy Christian. But now let's go to a report from Lee Hall.
All right, Ann, thanks very much. We're with my personal unsung hero of the day, Whitney McComas from East Central High, Broadlands High, tripped in the 300-meter low hurdles. Tell me what happened.
I tried to use my other leg, and I stumbled over the hurdle.
Stumbled and fell, and then what happened?
I just knew I had to get up and keep going to finish the race.
Now, I'm very proud of you, and I don't even know you. Tell me where you finished last year.
I was first last year.
All right, now you're not going to cry, okay? But I want you to know that we're all very proud of you. You are really the ideal of what should be happening here today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Whitney McComas didn't finish, but she's a winner. I know that sounds like a cliche, but she got up and kept going. We got to do that every day, right?
We rejoin the race. Thanks a lot, Lee. As you take a look, Timothy Christian, in the absence, has taken the lead, but Wheaton St. Francis staying right off the shoulder on the backstretch. That is Timothy Christian, looking for big team points. In third is St. Joe Ogden, and now Milledgeville looking to make a move for fourth. This is the third runner. They will be handing off to the anchor leg, the one that counts for all the marbles. Laura Hamilton, the senior, will take it for Timothy Christian on the baton pass. Timothy Christian, Wheaton St. Francis. Timothy Christian is in red, Wheaton St. Francis is in blue, and you see St. Joe Ogden in maroon. As they come to the anchor leg, and the pack is tightening up a bit. Richmond Burton making a good move right now. The Rockets now moving, challenging for third, but it is Timothy Christian in the lead in all red. A pretty sizable lead, Lisa, as they go into this last lap.
Yes, it is. She's really lengthened that lead, and it's really a first place runner, and then second, third, and fourth, we've got a race.
I'll tell you who's moving right now. Columbia in blue has now moved into fourth, coming out of sixth at the exchange. A tremendous leg being run. A little bit of the gap closing with 200 meters to go on the lead runner for Timothy Christian, but she looks strong, closing a little bit, continues to close, and now St. Joe Ogden making a move for third around the curve. Wheaton St. Francis is still in second. It is Timothy Christian, Wheaton St. Francis, St. Joe Ogden making a move, but Richmond Burton now moving into third. There's a pack of three for third, fighting it out. But it will be Timothy Christian in their quest for a state team championship. Finishes first, Wheaton St. Francis and Richmond Burton in third. Timothy Chrstn is your Class A champion, the 4x400 meter relay.
That was a very nice leg by Laura Hamilton of Timothy Chrstn to anchor that relay. You see right here, as you've got Laura Hamilton, the senior from Timothy Chrstn. She knows that her team is trying to win a trophy. She also knows that she wants to win this gold for her relay. She's losing a little bit there as she comes to the end, but she knows that she's the winner. So congratulations to Laura Hamilton and the entire Timothy Chrstn squad.
Ladies and gentlemen, team awards for first, second, and third place.
And now the 4x400, the final event of this beautiful afternoon of the Spring Spectacular. Palatine, Fremd High School, the Vikings in 1, O'Fallon in 2, Whitney Young, the Dolphins in 3, the Wildcats of Evanston in 4, Morgan Park, the Mustangs in 5, Springfield Southeast in 6, the Palatine Pirates in 7, Proviso West in 8, and Hinsdale Central, the Red Devils in 9. The record in this event is held by East St. Louis Lincoln in 1984, 3:44.9. What's at stake today is a state championship as a relay team and maybe a team championship. We have the contenders in the race as we await the start. And a good start it is in our final event of the day. Morgan Park in white over orange in the middle. Evanston moving very well on lane 4 on the inside. They have done so well in the relays today. And perhaps more surprising, Fenton Gunther thought that maybe they would be in 3rd, but we don't have those points, but they sure look good from up here. Evanston, Morgan Park in white, and also moving now is O'Fallon moving rather well. I'm sorry, Chicago Young in all orange on the inside of the track. Evanston, the early leader in this 4x400. We'll await the exchange because that's what counts. We'd also like to mention that in that 200 race, Jennifer Hoffman set a record in the A, 24.09, and Fouché did win her 3rd title of the day on that photo finish. It looks like Whitney Young is coming up, and Whitney Young will exchange first. Dying a little bit with the Wildcats on the first leg. It is Whitney Young, Evanston, and Morgan Park around the curve. And now we've got a special championship, the pole vaulters with Lee Hall.
Thanks a lot, Ann. We're with a couple of the pioneers today. 2 of the top 3 ladies in the Class A pole vault. Jackie Marquardt on top at 9 feet 6 inches. Our friend Cassandra Judy from IVC finished 2nd, but Jackie's teammate Tiffany Jankus finished 3rd at 8.6. Congratulations on the win today.
Thank you.
Tell me about clearing 9.6. That's pretty good height.
Yeah, it was my personal best by 6 inches, and I just took it on my last jump, and I just gave it everything I had.
How did you get involved in pole vault? This is the first year for it.
One of my coaches is like a coach of pole vaulting at camps and everything, and he knew that it got us accepted as a girls event, so he was talking to my head coach of my track team, and so they decided that I should just try it. So I just tried it one time, and
worked out, didn't it? Hey, Tiffany, tell me about finishing 2 out of the top 3. That's got to make you feel good for your team.
Yeah, we were expecting to top 5 at least, so we were pretty excited that we went 1-3. We were wanting to go 1-2, but I couldn't pull it off, but maybe next year.
Do you feel like a pioneer, you guys, taking home the first medals in the pole vault for ladies?
Oh, yeah, I think it's so exciting because, I don't know, nobody else got even 3rd place, but.
Both of you guys are going to be back next year, right? All right, they are pioneers, and they'll be back again next year. Back up to you.
Thanks a lot, Lee, and congratulations to the pole vault champions. That's a record for sure, and while we left, it was Whitney Young, but all of a sudden on this 3rd leg, Morgan Park has charged in the lead, and the Wildcats of Evanston come back into 2nd. So it's Morgan Park in white, Evanston orange over blue, and Whitney Young in 3rd, blue over orange, as we go into the final lap of today's Spring Spectacular. I tell you, Ann Penstone, Lisa Ferry, I have enjoyed bringing this with you. A fabulous day as we wind it around the last lap on this beautiful day at O'Brien Field at Eastern Illinois University.
All the workers have done such a great job to keep the meet on schedule, and everything has gone so smoothly. It just seems like we got started, and it's almost sad for it to come to an end.
Well, Morgan Park would like to finish with a state championship, and they are showing it with style as they come around the last curve. They want to put an exclamation point on what we believe will be his 3rd consecutive state championship. And here the crowd is on its feet. The entire crowd here as Morgan Park comes in, leading this race, followed by Evanston and then Whitney Young. The Mustangs of Morgan Park win the 4x400 AA for 2001. And you see the pain of a long day etched on the face of that young lady, Damaris Parchment, the junior from Morgan Park. We want to remind you that as we take a look at her coming around the curve, she looks good. It's been a long day.
It's been
She's
a
run
long
a lot
day,
of races.
and she's run a lot of races. All these Morgan Park kids have done such a great job. They've been in several events, so they know that they've worked hard to get here, and they're proud of that fact. But you can see right there on her face that she knows that she wants to win this championship, and it has been a long day. From all accounts, it looks to us like they may be in the driver's seat for this three-peat that we've been calling for the state championship team trophy. Time will tell. We'll let you know when we know the results.
We'd also like to mention there was a fine time, unofficially 3:49.16. Did not broach the record by East St. Louis Lincoln, but a terrific time after a long day. And she says, that's it, I'm done. And along with it, we'd like to remind you that this IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick. And by the American Dairy Association. On behalf of your local dairy farmers, the power of cheese.
In an emergency, only Country Insurance gives you immediate advice from a claims authority. Country Insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick.
Champions. There is the championship trophy in Class A, and the Spring Spectacular being hoisted aloft by Timothy Christian on the strength of a multitude of performers and great relays today. 63 points for Timothy Christian, your Class A 2001 state champs. They broke a log jam as they finished with 63 points. Seton Academy in a tremendous display by Hoffman, and Braidwood Reed Custer in your area with 34.5 in a close race for third. The Flying Geese of Wethersfield right on the heels. And there you see the overall team championships. Class A breaking out of the pack is Timothy Christian and a log jam with 3. We'll be back with these messages right after this.
Here we go, boys. State champions.
And it's the Mighty Mustangs of Morgan Park. Yes, they do. They three-peat, 3 in a row, the 2001 AA state champs on the strength of their sprinting corps led by Shanna Pickett and Tiffany Kennedy. And the all-around standings, so there you see Morgan Park on top. Evanston, the Wildcats with 48, and Palatine closely following with 43, the Pirates, and a 3-way tie for 4th. There are the final standings in AA. And now let's go to Lee Hall with the Country Insurance Athlete of the Meet, Jessica Fouché.
Golden afternoon for Jessica Fouché of Chicago Good Counsel High School. 3-time winner today, 100, 200, 400-meter champ. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You finished second last year to Adia McKinnon. She did the same thing, a young lady from Homewood Flossmoor. So you're kind of accustomed to this kind of thing, aren't you?
Well, she's a good friend of mine and my mentor, and it's great to follow in her footsteps.
Tell me about the races today. How did they go? Obviously well. What was key for you?
Just staying focused on my events, not getting too caught up in the hype, and each race just coming back and just calming down, refocusing, and just doing my best.
Good Counsel High School's never had anybody qualify for the state or state meet before you, and now you're their first champion.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a great honor.
All right, Jessica Fouché of Good Counsel High School, 3-time winner today. It's a little warm to be talking about hockey, but she gets the hat trick, the 100, 200, and 400-meter AA champ.
Thanks a lot, Lee, and great job for Jessica Fouché. We'll be back with more after this network break. There you have multiple team championships. Morgan Park, this year's winner, 2 3-peats, as you notice. Evanston Township took those years in between, 97, 98. But the overall winner, the Tigerettes of East St. Louis Lincoln with 14. They are now the Flyerettes, combining East St. Louis Senior and East St. Louis Lincoln to form East St. Louis High School. Quite a legend. As you look at Charleston and Eastern Illinois University, we have had a great time. This copyright broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of the Illinois High School Association is strictly prohibited. Once again, your A champ is Timothy Chrstn and AA Morgan Park. The most records ever in a single meet with 6 for Lisa Ferry. I'm Ann Penstone. Thanks for joining us. See you next year at the Spring Spectacular.